an earlier vlog, we said we were going to come back to Saltwick Bay to photograph the shipwreck. Well, that day has now come. I'm here for that very reason. I had a slight issue this morning in that the sunrise is the best time to grab that boat wreck. The problem I had is that the sunrise was at 5:05 this morning. 5:05. The problem I had is that the tide was at its highest at around about the same time. I think about 10 past or 11 minutes past 5 was the exact time when I checked on Google. The problem I've got is that to photograph the boat wreck, the shipwreck, how I want to photograph it, with just a little bit of water across it, I needed to be 2 hours after high tide. So the problem I had this morning is I set my alarm first thing. I arrived here an hour after sunrise, and of course, typical sod's law dictates, on the route up here I could see in the distance the most amazing orange sunrise. It is just absolutely delightful. So much so, I was actually looking for a rape field to try and stop to photograph, you know, something like, imagine a nice yellow rape field with a lone tree in the background, that bright orange sky. But alas, I didn't actually find one. I was too busy trying to obviously get here as quick as I possibly could. So sunrise was a big no-no this morning because I set my alarm obviously knowing I'm going to arrive here about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour after sunrise. That's a big mistake. Isn't that just typical? Isn't that just what's called sod's law? I absolutely gutted when I was driving here this morning. However, I'm here pretty much for the morning. I might do something a bit different this afternoon. I might mix it up with this vlog. We'll just have to wait and see. I've got a bit of a plan while I'm kind of on the east coast. I just have to wait now for the sea to recede just a little bit more to reveal the shipwreck, and then I'll grab some pictures. I've got the brightest sky. I've got no clouds. I've got disgustingly poor light. So pretty much, as a landscape photographer, everything is against me. Everything. However, I'm here. No point moaning about it. Let's grab it. Let's see what we can capture, and let's document our day here. Enjoy the vlog, guys. Enjoy the vlog. I've taken a few shots. This is my grumpy looking face. This is my unhappy face. I'm really not excited about this morning's activities. What's really frustrating for me, and there's obviously a secret way to get down to the shipwreck. What's actually happened is I got down onto Saltwick Bay, and you've got to go around a cove to get to where the shipwreck is. It's not far. It's 150 yards, that's all, but with the tide in, you seem to be cut off. So I waited for the tide to go out, but then when I came around, obviously the tide must go out where the shipwreck is before where I was stood, around where the beach was. And I can't for love nor money try and figure out a way how I could have arrived at the boat wreck, at the shipwreck, while the sea was still at high tide. I don't know. If somebody does know a way to get down here, or maybe you just got to bite the bullet and kind of walk close to the cliff edge and kind of, you know, it's a bit of a trek. I know it's only 150 yards, maybe 200 yards, but it's quite lethal, quite rocky. I've only got my wellies on as well, so I'm sporting my wellies today. So they're really quite slippery, and I didn't really fancy doing that. Well, obviously I didn't know I had to do that at that time. So I'm a bit more armed with information and knowledge now for the next time I arrive here. But if somebody does know another way of arriving here so I can get to the shipwreck while the tide is in, then please leave a comment below. I'd love to know. Failing that, I've taken a few shots. I'll show the shots I've taken already. But you know what? It's really bad sky. It's really bad light. It's a bad time of day. It's not the shot I was after. I'm really trying my best to make the best of my time here, because obviously in my busy life I only allocate one day a week to actually do what I'm doing now, which is my weekly vlogging. So unfortunately If it's a bright sunny day, if there's no clouds in the sky, if I'm restricted to my times, then hey ho, I've just got to make the most of it, so I'll stop moaning. I think the biggest bugbear I've got at this present moment in time is I'm trying desperately to photograph a shipwreck. So much so, I've even put my 70 to 200mm lens on there just to try a different perspective. I've moved further away to zoom in, try and compress the image using various artifacts, some rocks, some pebbles and so on and so forth as foreground interest, and I just don't know if it works. One thing I have done though, I think that might look quite interesting, is I've taken a really shallow depth of field image. I've gone quite a way back, zoomed in. I'll put the information down on my picture anyway, and you can judge for yourself whether you like it or not. I think it'll look quite nice in camera. Obviously it's going to be spoiled by the fact that there isn't any clouds in the sky, and I'm not one for swapping skies over for the sake of swapping skies in a picture. I've no time to do that, if I'm perfectly honest. I think it's quite interesting, I think it's quite nice. It's very different. I opted for f4, not 2.8. My lens could go to 2.8, which would offer me a shallower depth of field, but f4 seems to be a sweeter spot. It seems to be much sharper when it's at f4. Shallow depth of field, I've got a bit of foreground interest before it as well. I think I've picked a rock out, so that's going to be blurred, and really it's about highlighting the shipwreck. Excuse me, spitting. It's really about highlighting the shipwreck against the background. I think it'll work, but do you know my biggest bugbear right now? This is a big bugbear, is I feel that I'm just documenting a shipwreck and I'm not creating any nice images with a shipwreck in it. Does that make sense? And I'm not here to document a shipwreck. I'm not here to do that. Oh, it's that fine line. It's that fine line. Right, so two things I could do: sit here and moan about it all day, or just get off my fat lazy ass and look for some more compositions. Welcome to episode 2 of the vlog. What are Bempton Cliffs? What are Bempton Cliffs, guys? Looking forward to it. Bempton Cliffs. It's not about landscape photography this bit now, it's about photographing birds. If photographing birds or looking at pictures of birds isn't your thing, then switch off now. I've been to Bempton Cliffs a few times and it really is quite spectacular. Obviously if photographing and watching birds is your thing, but I have never seen it this busy before. It is so busy. There you go, that's always a good sign. I thought I'd pull over, take a few shots of some birds while I'm in the area, something a little bit different to do. I thought, if I'm honest, I was going to be here for about 30 minutes and I've been here for about 2 hours. That's a very good sign. The birds at this present moment in time are nesting, they're building nests, so that's why there's a hype of activity, and that's obviously why the place is very, very busy. But I know it's not the normal thing I put in a vlog, but it's quite interesting. It's got me out of the studio for the day, so pretty much upbeat, and I'm a happy bunny. I suppose the most important thing to take from today is it's healthy to go and photograph something you don't ordinarily photograph. You'll learn more. It's a great experience. And it's a cracking day. Why not do something a little bit different instead of the same old samey stuff? But got something special lined up for next week. I'm quite looking forward to that. It's going to be a fairly long trip, pretty much up early in the morning as well. And it's going to be another long day, but either way, I am so looking forward to that. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed the vlog. If you have, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and smash that like button. I really appreciate that. If you smash the like button, then more people will get a chance to see this video. That's it. Take the good with the bad. We're done.